Right, good afternoon. Welcome along to Steve Wraith's chat. Today we're going to do a boxing chat with a few of my fighters. So, how are you doing, guys?
All good.
And
Yeah, all good. Yeah, spot on.
Shannon, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm good.
Good. All right. Let's start with you, Anth. How have you coped with COVID-19 and the lockdown as a professional boxer?
It's been hard just staying away from the gym with like my training partners. Obviously, we can day training at home and stuff like that, but it's hard trying to push yourself to fight limits when you're by yourself and you've got no training partners or coach. But it's starting to ease, and we've got back in the gym, and it's getting better.
Yeah, that's good. Have you been working, Anth? I mean, I presume you've been. Still...
Yeah. I had a couple of weeks off. I had 6 weeks off at the start, and then I've been back for 4 or 5 weeks now. Just back to it.
Yeah, that's good. Ellis, same for you, mate. I mean, obviously, you had a great end of 2019 and a great start of 2020. Obviously, we're hoping for big things this year. That's been put on hold. So, same question to you, really. How have you coped, yourself? Have you managed to keep yourself ticking over with training, etc.?
Yeah, we've still been ticking over training. Just trying to do as much as we can, really. Obviously, it's been limited to, apart from now, obviously back with Pete, we're doing the pads and stuff like that. Just trying to get. It's obviously the gyms and like your strength and conditioning that I'm missing out on the most, really, because that's what I was smashing out in the morning, and obviously I was in the gym with Pete on the night. You know what I mean? So it's just really the strength and conditioning part that I'm missing out at the moment. But obviously, it's just trying to keep ticking over and just trying to keep the weight down, really, just in case anything pops up.
Shannon, for you, it was supposed to be a professional debut in May.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were excited. You were looking forward to that. You've been seen at ringside, obviously, a few times, watching the likes of John Green and Ellis go on and do great things under the guidance of Pete Shepperson. So, big gutting for you, I suppose. That it's been put on hold.
Oh yeah, I was absolutely good. I was ready to go as well. I was flat out training at the start of the year.
Yeah,
but
from your perspective, have you managed to train? How have you coped with the whole lockdown?
Well, I've back training with the past week. I've been back training with Pete on the pads and stuff, back at it properly. But just have things like running, bike rides, circuits in the garden. But it's hard when you've gone from training hard and having that focus on my first fight to doing like by yourself in the garden and thinking, well, I'm not fighting now. It's hard to keep motivated, but it's just routine as well. I'm not working and furloughed, so it's just trying to keep busy, really. But I'm back up with Pete now on the pads, so I feel better. I feel a bit less stressed. That's
good. And obviously, a lot of people who follow you on social media know you've always done well with your sponsorships, etc. Have your sponsors been helping you through this difficult period?
All my sponsors, there are like I could name them all, but there's like a big list there, and they're all, none of them have changed. Like obviously I know everybody's unknown of what's going to happen next, but it's starting to clear out of it now. But even when it was like misty, they were still willing to do obviously. Sponsors, you get money. They were still willing to do that. Like nothing's really changed, and that's just it touches me heart. You know what I mean? It just gives us more fuel for when this is all over. Get back and being proud.
Ellis, I know you've you've had some great sponsors as well. Certainly in the last 12 months. What have they been saying to you? Have they been helping you out and just trying to, help you cope with a difficult period?
Yeah, they've actually been really brilliant. Actually, throughout this lockdown, I've just actually got another sponsor back, so that's been a bonus, really. Moorfield Roofing, so they've actually just came on board as well. And then, they've all been supporting me and just obviously raring for me to go now. They're all just looking forward to getting back to boxing. So we can start putting on some shows, and obviously my sponsors are always going to be there by my side, and I think they're just excited now for what's got to come.
Do you want to give any of them a name check, Ellis? I know, Ant's got
two. Yeah, so of course. we've got obviously there's Moorfield Roofing, we've got Unicorn Finance, there's Adair Construction, then you've got Mowden Pub as well. They're a big sponsor and helps me. And John Flynn Physiotherapy. So yeah, they're like my main sponsors that obviously are kind of sticking by my side, and they're always there on the phone. And also I've got Steve McLean Performance as well, the two which is helping me out with my nutrition and my diet and keeping everything well really.
Shannon, for you starting out, obviously, you haven't fought yet. You've fought amateur, of course. Sponsorships. Have you found it easy so far to attract anybody? You're the first female to break through in your area. So, is that something you found easy?
Yeah, I've had loads of people, obviously, who I'm training and working with and stuff. But I've had loads of people help me out with. I've got kit coming now. I'm waiting for it to all come, and everything's been sorted. But all my sponsors have helped me out and been checking up and seeing if I'm all right. Obviously, when my fight got called off and stuff. But yeah, they've all just been the same, really.
Yeah, and obviously, you had a mixed start. I mean, you've had a great start as far as boxing's concerned. You've done well. You've got the wins. In the win column, and that's the most important thing. But obviously, it's been a bit stop-start, and like from your perspective, for this stop now, it's annoying. But what is your hope? What is your hope when boxing starts again? What do you want to achieve?
Well, this year I was just going to come in like all guns blazing this year and just try and fight as much as I can and just just get as much experience in this year as I can. Obviously, I'm not sure how much of the year we're going to have left after this, but just keep the same mindset. Just keep fighting. I'm still young. I'm 21, so I can just keep getting experience, build up the rounds, build up the level opponents, and then just reach for the stars, isn't it?
Yeah. Same question to you, Ellis. Obviously, Northern Area champion, and you've defended it in style on MTK's show. Once we get back to boxing, what's your plans? What do you want to do in the next 12 months?
100%. Aiming to get an English title if possible. Definitely pushing on for that English. I've got obviously. We spoke to Pete tonight, and I says at least, if we don't get it this year, we want it early by next year, and I want at least to be contending for a British title by the end of 2021 as well. That's like my goals for the next year, well, end of this year and next. I don't see why it can't be done either, because obviously I want to be up there. I'm still fighting people that's obviously had good records. So I just want to be in with the best. Really, it doesn't really matter about time now. I just want to get amongst it.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, I've seen a lot of people on social media linking you with one or two local derbies. Joe Lawes' name's been thrown in the mix there on more than one occasion. Is that a fight that you would take, Alice?
Yeah, I'd take that. I think obviously it's good for the North East as well. I know that a lot of people on the North East are talking about it. I definitely want to take it, but I don't think Joe Lawes will. I know he's on about boxing at 140. But yeah, I just think obviously I'm there to take any fight, and if it's there, it's there. If the money's right, and obviously you've got I think I can defend my title again. So he's got a shot at a title. I can defend my Northern Area title on Eddie Earnshaw or something like that. It's a possibility. Do you know what I mean? It's always there for him. So it just depends on whether if they would want to take it, or if they're just comfortable at boxing at 140 now.
27th of October, of course, the Matchroom show, which Ellis is going to be boxing on. So it'll be interesting to see whether that fight can be made. Shannon, for you, obviously it's a waiting game now. We have to wait and see how boxing comes back into existence, really, I suppose. First, the main hall shows, just to let you know, the Boxing Board of Control have obviously come out in the last 7 days and stipulated that shows can go on behind closed doors now, no more than 5 fights, obviously, at any time. The rules and regulations, well, there's too many to mention. Obviously, no crowds. Certain people of certain ages and certain medical conditions obviously can't attend. It's very, very strict. For you, I suppose it's just you want us to get back to the small hole as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I just want to get fights. It's the whole reason I turned over pro, was to start fighting and hoping I'd get quite a few in this year. But I'll just keep staying ready, and just whenever it's there, I'll be ready. I just need to fight, really.
Lawrence Osueke, good to see you, mate. And basically, just you haven't really missed a great deal. We just wanted to catch up with me fighters and see how you were all doing in the lockdown period. How have you coped? Obviously, I know for a fact you've got a young family at home, and like everybody else, you've faced this uncertain time. How have you been coping?
Yeah, it's been tough. Obviously, being a proper dad for a change. It's been testing at times, but no, it's been good. I think for me, I think you've got to appreciate the time that I've been given, because if this hadn't happened, I probably would have never spent this sort of quality time with my family. So I've kind of looked at that as a positive. But obviously, in terms of my career, it's been difficult. But I've just kind of tried not to focus on that too much, because at the end of the day, everybody's in the same boat. But yeah, I've tried to maintain training. I've kind of kitted my garage out, so I've got all the basics there. I've got a punch bag, floor ceiling ball, bit of weights, spin bike. So I've kind of got everything I need. Not a huge bit of space, but just trying to do what you can really and picking over.
We chatted obviously a few days ago. We talked about sponsors and that kind of thing. I mean, have you been working, or have you been helped by sponsors? How have you been getting by?
At this point in time, just the government grant that you got for self-employed, that's it really, which is kind of next to nothing. But luckily, I'm generally sensible with my money, and I have got a little bit of savings, which I'm kind of using to kind of get by at this point in time, and kind of hoping for things to kind of get moving soon, really. Because obviously, I had a few fights at the back end of last year. Obviously, it didn't go the way I wanted to do. Things weren't quite right, but it is what it is. But so luckily I did have a payday, which has kind of kept us ticking over up to now. But looking forward, it's going to be difficult. Really, I'm going to have to kind of see what I can do to kind of bring some income in.
You mentioned the fights didn't quite go your way. I mean, the bottom line is you worked very hard to get there, Lawrence, and you should never forget that. From your perspective, what do you think you need to change to change your fortunes?
I think obviously I have got a small family. I've got a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and we're in the middle of moving house. I think a lot of things going on outside of boxing. I always train hard. I always put the work in the gym. But I think mentally I wasn't where I needed to be. I think it's one of those things you can be training and think you're doing everything right, but sometimes when there's too much going on, it's just not quite there. In boxing, the type of sport, you need 100% on it. And again, with financially as well, that's always the difficult thing with pro boxing at this stage in your career. You kind of probably sparring was probably a huge factor, because I wasn't really getting the quality of sparring which I needed. And obviously, unfortunately, in the North, it's not a great deal of light heavyweights around really, and it's all down to travelling really, and obviously it's all at a cost. And when you're juggling family life, trying to train, and it's difficult really. And I just, at the level that I was kind of at, it's like sparring is essential, and I think that among the rest of kind of what was going on is just wasn't enough, because when I kind of got the opportunity, like you say, we've worked myself and you and Nick, we've worked hard to get to that position. Me, most of all, it was disappointing not to be able to take it with both hands really. And like I say, I probably was telling myself that I was ready, but when I got in there, I wasn't where I needed to be. I wasn't comfortable in the situation. And I think you've got to get used to being in that uncomfortable position. And sometimes you don't realise it until you get in there. I mean, there was the fight at the arena, Castle Arena, and I think I did get some all right sparring, not the best, but I think there was a case of where styles clashed a little bit. And for whatever reason, I just didn't quite perform to my full potential really. But the one leading up at the back end of the year in December, I think, like I said, there was a lot of factors that kind of contributed to that. But moving forward, obviously that's been and gone. I just kind of want to move on from that and kind of keep pushing. And obviously, unfortunately, with the situation, hasn't really allowed me to do that. But yeah, obviously, we're kind of getting a bit more settled with this kind of, I've adjusted to this whole situation now, and I'm kind of, my training's getting better, and the gyms are hopefully opening soon, and kind of get back at it properly really.
And from your perspective, obviously, what is the hardest part about being a professional boxer? Is it? I think a lot of people who are watching, there'll be some people who don't understand how hard it is to actually get your foot on the ladder. And you know, all of you guys, and Shannon is going to have to deal with this as well. You know, you're in a ticket selling game, aren't you?
That's probably, well, that other than the actual fights and stuff themselves, the tickets and stuff is without a doubt the hardest thing, because if you kind of do the tickets, then you kind of pay your costs, and then there's no fights. And to keep active, like, obviously if you want to keep active, you've got to have a fan base, you've got to have like using the social media, and it's good to have like loads of your sponsors and stuff like that buy tickets, and just it's good to have like you need a social platform, or what's it called? I don't know.
Social media platform.
You need like a following, and that's what you need to do from the start. Just focus on smash that. That's basically what you need to do when you're getting into this. Is get the following up, and then the rest just kind of training, working hard.
Yeah, I mean, you know, before I come to you, Ellis, on the same question, the misconception of a lot of people is that the promoters are making fortunes and the boxers are getting paid nothing. But I've made a point over the last 8 years that I've been involved in the boxing game of trying to be honest with people about what the costs are. And, you know, the average cost of putting a small hall show on is around about £4,500. You know, at stage one, at say, you know, somewhere in Darlington or a small place like the Lancastrian in Gateshead. And I think what most people don't realise is that the fighters, as I say, have to sell tickets to be on the show. And those 50 tickets tend to come to the promoter, which sounds great in the grand scheme of things. 50 tickets at 40 quid coming to the promoter, $2,000. But then, you know, when you start to break that down, the opponent for a 4-3-minute round out works out at 1,200 quid. That leaves the promoter around about £800. But then if he's only got 6 fights on, it's 4,800 quid he's got there. Now, if the average show is around about £4,500, if I'm lucky, then I might make 300 quid. But those 6 fights aren't guaranteed to be on. And as soon as the fighter pulls off the show, then suddenly I'm losing money. So that's why sponsorship's important from my perspective. And it's a tough game. And you know, all of you guys are in it for fighting. I'm in it, obviously, to try and boost fighting in the Northeast. If I make a little bit of money, it's great, but I get the biggest buzz out of seeing yous do well. And, you know, there's no better nights than, you know, travelling to Brentwood and Essex to see Lawrence, you know, go in for a British title eliminator, or to be standing at ringside on an MTK show when my fighter's been called the underdog and he goes in and absolutely demolishes their fighter, or going to see Billy Smith, who, you know, was fighting for the Northern Area title down in Durham, and essentially everybody said he was never going to win the fight, and he went in and again did a number on Dan Cook. So, you know, from my point of view, that's what it's all about. You get the buzz. And, you know, for you, Ellis, I know when you first started out, I mean, they're probably now one of the hottest properties in Northeast boxing, and very exciting to the fans who go to watch boxing. But, you know, from those early days, you weren't really a ticket seller.
No, I couldn't sell tickets at all. I really struggled, as you know, anyways. Like, just couldn't sell them. And then, like, even for the one again when I boxed in December, I sold hardly no tickets for that. Even though I didn't have to, obviously, but it was the fact of the matter is I was boxing for a Northern Area title. It was only in Sunderland. I don't know why people come jump on the bus and come and watch us, but that's the grand scheme of things, isn't it? Really, just people just don't want to come and watch it. Sometimes don't want to come and watch, and then when you do well and you get like the knockout like I did in December, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon like, oh, I got a ticket, I got a ticket. But by the time then, they forget about all them days when you needed them to buy a ticket. It's one of them really. But now everyone is on it, and they are buying tickets from us. And I think I think it is hard because people don't see the struggles that boxers actually go through. It's not like football where you're getting paid thousands of pounds a week. You've got to, you know what I mean? You've got to go out there. You've got to do all the dirty work yourself. And same with promoters really. They're exactly the same. And it's just, people don't understand that. They think, oh, he's a professional boxer, he's getting paid this and he's getting paid that. They just don't have a clue, really. But hopefully now, obviously, I've been doing really well with the October show. Obviously, what was due for April, we sold a lot of tickets for that, and obviously now we're looking really good for tickets. So it's just kind of, I think it's kind of getting yourself on a platform of where people want to come and watch you. People want to be excited to come and watch you, or or people actually want to just come. It's an hard one to say, really. It's just I've never really got my head around it, because obviously from the Thai boxing days I never really had to do that. So when it came into boxing, it was a completely different thing, and I've had to kind of jump on and make myself a bit of an image so people can buy into that.
Obviously, Shannon, when we signed contracts earlier this year, you know, we talked about the whole ticket selling thing. I know it doesn't, you know, put you off, but do you think it puts a lot of the amateurs off who are thinking about turning pro, whether they're male or female, about jumping into the pro game, that there is that uncertainty factor and that you have to sell tickets?
Yeah, definitely. I knew before I turned that I had the backup of where I worked and the people around me and my family and stuff. I knew that it was there. I didn't have to worry about that. But without my job and the people that support me already in my amateur, I would have worried, definitely. Yeah, I think it's a big off-put for a lot of people. I know quite a few people that have been thinking about it, but or would want to. But that's the problem, is the tickets.
Again, Lawrence, with you, I mean, you know, you again struggled at times with tickets. You've had great family support, though. You know, you've always managed to pull in the family, but sometimes when fights are announced, it doesn't fit with family occasions or family patterns, which means that you lose a big chunk of sales. So you had to rely heavily on people like Rogen Recovery, haven't you, to sponsor you, get you through these fights?
Yeah, 100%. I think for myself, from turning pro, when I was boxing quite regular within my first year, I think I had like 7 fights in 9 or 10 months. So I mean, it's a lot of money for people. It's like £40 a ticket, plus by the time people normally want to have a drink, and so they've got to get a taxi there, taxis back. It's a full night, so it's an expensive night for people. And yeah, like I say, I was boxing regular, so it was almost like a membership for people, like a regular thing. I was nearly boxing every month. I think in my first year, I think I had in one of the months I had 2 in a month. So you're asking people to kind of fork out a lot of money, and they've got kids and stuff. And I think that's the position I was in initially. And obviously, then people, once you've got a few fights under your belt, people want to start to see you in the bigger fights. One of them was away down south, and it's a lot of money for people to travel. And then obviously, down to nobody's fault but my own, didn't really get the performance I would have liked. And people like Corrie said earlier, you've got to put the performances on. People want to come and watch it. And obviously, I need to now be doing that. I need to start putting some good performances in, so people want to come and watch, get people excited to come and watch.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony, you mentioned your sponsors before. You know, is there anybody you want to give a particular shout out to? Because I think it's good. They've given you, you know, they're giving you a big help with your career so far.
Definitely. I mean, there's UK Collection Services, there's Kudus Media, Gemini Electrical Services, Botanical CBD Oil, O-Team Protein, TJ Ace Consultant Engineering, Champagne, Whitley Bay, and Unique Fitness. They're the main guys who've kind of, since I've turned pro, kind of basically made it possible, really. So massive thanks to them, and especially UK Collection, because he's really helped me, basically without him I wouldn't have been able to box quite a lot, really, because like I say, selling those tickets myself, it wasn't really possible. So massive shout out to him.
Anth, go on. You were going to give your a shout out as well. Now you've got the list there in front of you.
Am I allowed to do more?
Go on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Horton International, my graft, North Spars, Buena Vida, The Rose Inn, Jelly's Home Bake, United British Caravans, Foam Superstore, Two Men in a Truck North East, Rashida Tandoori Takeaway, Daisy Maid Cleaning Services, B&J Window Cleaning Services, Luke Ramsey Chiropractor and Laser Clinic, Dorothy Collison's Sport Massage, Lovador, Side Kickboxing, Jolly Bears CBD, Northeast Conversions, Social Movement, Bollock Mortgages, Graham Pollock Sports Psychology, Walker Wheels Recovery, and Buzz Bar. Bam! That was a lot.
Good job you haven't got to get them all on your top. When you mentioned the takeaway, it leads us nicely into my next question. How's the diet been going?
I'm good, man. I'm probably like, what's it? I'm about 69 now, so I haven't got much. I've cut down to 63, 64. and I'm good, but I've got plenty of weight. Like I was just sitting there now, anyways. You know what I mean? It's going to come. Now I'm going to be in the best shape when it comes time to go.
Good stuff. Ellis, same for you, mate. I mean, diet's the hardest thing, in normal circumstances for any fighter. What about you? Have you managed to cope with the diet?
I struggled at first. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I started off really good, and then I dropped a bit, and then now I've started to pick it up the last month. So really, I've kept it. I've started off really well, dropped, and then I've started doing really well now. So it's just trying to maintain it really, and just trying to keep active as well, because obviously I'm in a sit down job as well. So that's when I'm in a sit down job, is trying to keep active and not being sat on my ass all day.
Shannon, for you, is it, you've still been managing to do a little bit. I mean, have you managed to keep straight with your diet?
Yeah, maybe the first week or something when it all happened, I was a bit gutted and turned to a few palmos and stuff, but I'm all right now, just having the odd treat now and then. But I actually find it easy, to be honest, because you're stuck at home all the time and you're sick of looking at junk food.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good. That's good. And Lawrence, same question for you.
Yeah, I think like everyone else, when the lockdown first happened, I think everyone was overeating really, and I didn't really have a routine because everything was kind of upside down. So, but yeah, obviously I've kind of found a bit more of a better routine now. I mean, it doesn't take much for me to put on weight, to be honest. I've got to be training twice a day and dieting really hard to kind of get down to my weight limit. But I'm not a million miles away, but I still could do with shifting a few more pounds, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, guys. And, for me, it's, just getting that routine and finding the routine. And that's what I did right at the start. And I think not just your physical health, but your mental health as well. I mean, have you managed to cope with that? I think work probably helps. But, when things are collapsing around you, things as it aren't open, you can't go to see people. Have you coped mentally?
Well, at first it was rough because obviously you kind of go see your grandparents. I'm a granny's, I'm a nana's boy, me. So you kind of go see your friends, and you were literally just restricted to our houses. So it was bad. It was bad. It would have been bad for everybody mentally. But then obviously we was going back to work. It's a bit routine, bit normality. And now obviously we was going back to the gym, even more normality for us. And before lockdown, your life was come home from work, go to the gym, come home and chill. And that, there wasn't much other than that anyways, really. So it's just getting back now. It's coming back normal. But obviously it's rough for everybody else at the minute, like. It
is, yeah. Ellis, have you had the same kind of experience? Have you managed to cope mentally? Because it's the one thing that men in particular don't tend to open up about.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm never really in the house when I'm working and stuff like that, and I'm training. I'm never really in the house. I'm always like, I'm in for like a couple of seconds and I'm back out again. I have my tea and then I'm back out again. But it's been a bit of a hard one, this one, because obviously I've been working throughout this, but I've been working from a laptop in my front room, sitting on a couch, and just got a laptop in front of me. So when you're trying to do that, and then you're there, you try to train and stuff like that, and you're restricted to certain things. It gets you down, and you feel like, oh God, there's not this again, and you forget what day you're on. You know what I mean? It just every day is just a different. Like it's just the same day, where you don't really get excited. It's like, oh well, I've Sundays. I've got Sundays off training, and then I can do this, I can do that. You know what I mean? I can go for a walk, but it is a bit hard. But now obviously it's getting easier now, because obviously you can do more things. Obviously training's back up in full floor. You're not having to just keep on running the streets like no tomorrow. But yeah, just obviously it's getting easier. It's getting better now. So it was hard at first, but it's definitely getting better. Yeah.
Same for you, Shannon. Mentally, have you coped okay?
Well, at the start, no, I'd say it was the worst part. Just stressed all the time. I've been off work. I haven't really been doing anything other than daft bits of training what I can do, but just stuck in the house, and all my family was sick of me wanting to punch things. But bit better now. Yeah, back on the pads last week. I was happy, and obviously with Pete opening his gym, that's a good buzz as well. That's a good thing to look forward to. So can't wait for that, really.
Yeah, Pete Shepperson going to be opening the gym down in Darlington. Everyone's looking forward to that, and obviously my fighters will be down there, and I'm sure we'll be able to give some publicity to Pete as and when that happens. Lawrence, for you, mentally, have you coped And that's a big battle for us men.
Yeah, I think like everyone else, it was a struggle, just because a whole new different routine. And like I say, with me having 2 young kids, obviously they were climbing the walls initially because they were just bored. I mean, my 2 are used to kind of being stimulated. Like the grandmother has them quite regular and takes them out where we're working and stuff. So she takes them to loads of different groups. So, but like they're just being stuck in the house. And obviously initially you weren't even allowed to go very far, and you only allowed to go out an hour a day. So that was difficult initially, but as things have gradually slackened, I've been able to take them out and kind of get into a bit of a better routine. I've had the kids, I bought a trailer, put them on the back of a bike and kind of took them out, and yeah, just trying to be creative with them and trying to find things to do. But yeah, like I said, things are getting a little bit better now, and hopefully before long everything will be back to normal. Yeah, no, that's it. I just can't wait, to be honest.
Lawrence, I asked Ellis before, was there a fight that he fancied? He said Joe Laws. Is there a fight that you would like to see? Is there anybody locally who you think you could take on, or is there a particular fight that you would like to readdress?
To be honest, I haven't actually had anyone, because I mean the northeast is not really a great deal. But in terms of light heavyweights around the country, there's loads. So I haven't really got my eye on one really. I mean, I'd be happy to be given the opportunity to fight a lot of them. To be honest, there's a lot. I think with the light heavyweight division, there's obviously the guys who are kind of European, getting towards world level, but there's plenty at British level really for me to kind of fight really. So I wouldn't say I've got. I mean, obviously, the loss at the back end of last year, I would love to have that fight again. But obviously, I don't think that'll probably come really. I don't think I'll get that opportunity because he'll be obviously moving on. But there's plenty of people for me. Really, I wouldn't say I've got one person kind of on my radar, to be honest.
Anth, what are you looking at doing now? Stepping up, do you think? I mean, your 4-3s is it's a start. You're looking to get
around. What was that? Sorry, I cut out at the end.
Are you looking to get extra rounds? Are you looking to step up?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm just build it up. There's no rush. I'm like I said, I'm a youngin', so I've got time on my hands. I'm just build it up, and see where we end up. Just keep on rocking it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, listen, guys, thanks for coming on tonight. Massive respect to you for all, trying to maintain your fitness and keeping your spirits up. It's great. It'll be great for the local boxing fans to hear. And hopefully, with the return of some kind of normality, we'll be able to see a small hall show before the end of the year. But thanks for joining us tonight, and stay safe, everybody.
Yes.
Cheers, very nice one.
See ya.
Boys and girls.
Cheers.
How'd you end it? Oh.